to my channel. I figured I will tell you about the birth of my third baby while I get myself ready. Um, so my third baby she's 5 years old now. Um, but her birth story is quite a funny one. So I um, went to the hospital probably like the day before I had her, and I was seeing spots and getting dizzy. When I got to the hospital, mind you, I walked to the hospital because I only lived like maybe a good 7 or 8 blocks away from the hospital, and walked to the hospital, got to the hospital, and when I got inside the building of the hospital, I could not move. I just stopped in the middle of the hospital because I couldn't see anything. I had a bunch of black and white spots, and so being that I had the black and white spots, they admitted me into the hospital. I was given a CT scan. I was kept overnight for observation. Um, so fast forward, I was discharged from the hospital at 11:30 that night. So, like I was saying, I was discharged from the hospital at 11:30 that night. Um, Everything that I'm using, I'm going to have that in the description box. But I was discharged from the hospital 11:30 that night. Um, and for that morning, I got up to use the bathroom. When I stood up, I felt a bubble pop, like my water broke in the middle of the floor. And it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I've been in the hospital all day the day before. Um, so when my water broke at 4 in the morning, I wasn't really realizing that my water had broken. I was tired. I was running on absolutely no energy. Um, so I didn't think much of it. I went to get everything cleaned up. Um, I cleaned my waters up off the floor. I got myself washed, and I got back in bed. Um, I got in bed. I asked my husband to rub my stomach for me, and it took me a while to realize that I was having contractions. I would wake up every couple of minutes and ask my husband to rub my stomach for me. This was my first baby that my water broke at home. She was my third baby, yes, but this was the first time my water broke at home. So I did not have a clue, no clue whatsoever what was going on. I didn't know it was my water, like no clue at all. Um, so I asked my husband if he could rub my tummy for me. I asked him probably 3 times. Like I would go to sleep and get a contraction and wake up and, oh my God, babe, can you rub my stomach for me, please? Just rub my stomach. And he would rub my stomach for me, and we would both go to sleep and get another one. Babe, rub my stomach, please rub my stomach. And he'd rub my stomach for me, and we'd go back to sleep and do it again. And babe, please rub my stomach. I don't know what's going on with my stomach. My stomach hurts. So that went on for a couple of minutes. And by that third time, I realized I was having contractions. And I asked my husband at that point, like I woke him up and I was like, babe, we need to call 911 because I'm having contractions. These are contractions. Um, like I said, it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I have a lot of bumps and scarring on my face from this past pregnancy, my most recent pregnancy. I've never been a person to have acne or anything like that, but this baby has definitely given me some of those issues. But anyway, I got my husband awake and asked him to call 911. Um, he, being sleepy and being woken up, he wakes up and he's like scurrying all around the house. Didn't have a clue as to where, like what to do. I'm telling him, get the phone, call 911. Um, so he did get the phone, and he like tossed the phone at me while he ran around the house. So whew. So at that point, we didn't have any kids at home with us. Our girls were at my in-laws. Um, so I called 911, and the emergency responder on the phone is like letting me know that I need to get a string and a towel and a blanket and water. And he's like, okay, now let's pull your pants down. And that's when I actually woke up because I was on all fours talking to him um, and following his directions and, you know, trying to remember everything that I needed to get for when I fully woke up. So I wake up when he says, and we're going to start to pull the pants down. I'm like, why are we pulling pants down? He's like, we're going to have this baby. I'm like, no, we're not. We're not having this baby in this house. And right when I said that, EMTs knocked at the door. So this was in February. Snow had just fallen on the ground. It had been snowing the entire week before. Um, so it was ice and then snow on top of ice. So the EMTs didn't feel comfortable bringing the gurney inside the house to get me to the hospital. And with me having contractions every few minutes, they wanted me to be safe. They didn't want to have to balance the gurney throughout my house and down the stairs to get inside of the ambulance. They had me one on one side and one on the other side, and they walked me out of the house and into the ambulance. That was scary, but I made it to the ambulance, and sorry. I made it to the ambulance, and we got to the hospital, and the hospital wasn't, like I said, I lived like a couple of blocks away from the hospital, but I'm telling the EMT that the guy on the phone told me that I have to take my pants down. And the EMT tells me, well, we're not having this baby in this truck, so we're going to go into the hospital. So we're en route to the hospital. And at this point, I can't sit on my bottom at all. Like I could feel my baby's head coming out, and I could not sit on my bottom. Like no pressure at all. Like nothing. I was literally sitting at an angle. Um, so I get to the hospital, and I am brought in through the emergency room, and because I was 37 weeks and 2 days, yeah, I was 37 weeks and 2 days with her. Um, they took me up to the um, labor and delivery room, and they asked me to get on the scale. And I remember because I had just been discharged the day before, and so I'm like, so I was just here at 11 o'clock last night. This was like 4 something in the morning, and they're like, oh, but we still need to get your weight. And I'm like, but you just got it. I was here not even 5 hours ago. Like you just got my weight. Like what's the problem? Why I can't just go to a room? And so I get on the scale. At this point, my contractions are probably every 5 minutes apart. So I could not walk. I had to physically crawl, like on all fours, crawl from the scale in the hallway to the room. Luckily, it wasn't that far away. But I got to the room, and I was like, I had to get help to stand up to get on the bed, because it was uncomfortable, like contractions coming every few minutes. It was uncomfortable. Um, so when I got on the bed, got changed and everything else, the anesthesiologist came in probably a couple minutes after I got into the room, introduced herself, and I had to sign paperwork to get my epidural. This was my last baby that I had an epidural with. You'll find out why in this video. Um, so I had to sign paperwork to get an epidural. I got the epidural, and I got the epidural probably, it was a little a little bit after 5 o'clock when I got the epidural. It did work. It did. Um, it worked a little too good. I delivered her at 11:13 a.m. So I hadn't been at the hospital too long. But I felt like the epidural like really slowed down my labor. Hold on, gotta pause. I'll be right back. I gotta get my black shadow. Okay, I'm back. I got my black shadow. So I had my baby at 11:13 a.m. Literally 3 pushes, and she was out. Um, I was not able to record anything of that. As soon as my husband pulled out everything to record, they stopped him and told him that he couldn't record anything. He couldn't take pictures or anything like that. But that's fine. I ain't really worry about it. It's fine. Um, but yeah, 3 pushes. She was out, and after delivering her, I was unable to feel my legs for hours. I couldn't feel my legs until the following day. My husband had to help me walk around. Like, I couldn't walk, so he had to help me um, go to the bathroom. He had to physically lift me out of bed and carry me to the bathroom, and push me in the bathroom to the bathroom in a wheelchair. and pushed me in a wheelchair around the hospital. And like I couldn't walk or move my legs or have feeling to put pressure on my legs, because every time I would put my feet down, I couldn't put pressure on my legs. I would like fall, like my legs was like noodles. Um, so I whew, that's one of the reasons why I refuse to get any more epidurals. So not being able to feel my legs for a while. Yeah, I'm not good with eyebrows at all. Unable to feel my legs, and whew, unable. Well, I feel that the epidural played a part in the labor, the speed of the labor, because I could feel her head there when I got to the hospital, and um, like it prolonged it when I got to the hospital. It took longer, but not too bad. I told y'all I can't do eyebrows. I'm definitely gonna take that off. Don't follow the eyebrows. If you know how to do eyebrows, let a sister know, because I can't. Um, but yeah, I'm not a fan of epidurals for that reason, for those two reasons. And that was my last baby that I had an epidural with. After that, I just refused epidurals. Um, if you see my birth story of my fourth and fifth babies, um, I had both of them naturally without medication. And if I have another baby, I'll have him or her naturally without medication as well. Um, just because I don't like the effect that it had on me. But I think me and my husband might have one more baby. Just one. Or maybe two. I am getting a little older. So, the older you get, the more you have to look for like illnesses and multiples and things like that. I mean, I'm not that much older, but my cutoff age for having babies is 35. I don't plan on having any more when I get to 35. Um, but that is my birth story of my baby number 3. Like this look, minus the eyebrows. I like the blue lip. Blue lip's my favorite. But yeah, thanks for watching my video. The makeup that I use will be in the description box below, as well as the birth stories of my fourth and fifth babies and what I found useful, because I am breastfeeding, and I am 3 weeks postpartum for my last baby. So all of those videos will be in the description box below. Please, please, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you can see more videos like this. Plus, it's free to do. Help a YouTuber out. Help me out. It's free. But thanks for watching. Bye.